Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and today we have a chatty get ready with me. So I have used some new and some older products, so feel free to stick around and check out the get ready with me. This is the final look, so we will catch up throughout the get ready with me, and also I'll catch you at the end. Thanks so much for stopping by and keep watching if you want to see this makeup look. Another get ready with me. So I thought we would try out some new products, some newer products to me, and then some products that are not new at all. But I did want to use today the new Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. Of course, everybody and their mom on YouTube has done a look with this new palette, but I thought we would play around a little bit today. Get ready with me. I'm about to actually go grab a couple more tattoos to add to my collection, a few minimal tattoos. So I thought I would bring you along while I was getting ready this morning. So starting off with our first product for today, going to use the Dior Forever Natural Nude Foundation. This is in the shade 2N, and that's what we'll go ahead and get started with today. So just gonna give it a good shake and then start with about, I don't know, a pump or two, about 2 pumps, pump and a half maybe, of this foundation. Okay, using my BK Beauty 101 brush for foundation. So let's just go ahead, and I prefer to kind of dot my foundation on. And I think I'll use a little bit more, maybe another half of a pump. There we go. This foundation, I believe, is an Ulta exclusive, and it definitely does have some fragrance, but I would say it's not as fragrant as some of their foundations that I've used. Does anybody know if the Dior Forever Air Flash foundation is coming back? Didn't they discontinue that recently? I know that they have revamped their product line to be a quote-unquote clean beauty line, or taken out a lot of the products there, a lot of the ingredients that they seem to deem not clean. Clean is going to mean a little bit different for everybody. It's not something that I necessarily pay attention to, especially being a luxury beauty lover and addict. But I think this might be the first time I've actually ever used this foundation on myself. So here's the foundation. Really nice natural glow. Light medium coverage, maybe, roughly. And seems to be a good match. All right, the concealer that I have sitting next to me right now is the Natasha Denona new concealer. I cannot keep up with the concealer launches lately. So this is the High Glam concealer in the shade 1N. I really like this concealer. It is super creamy, like one of my other Holy Grail concealers, which is the Hourglass. It has really good, I would say, medium coverage. And yeah, I just really am loving the formula. So I'm gonna use this kind of to brighten up a little bit. Conceal a little under my eyes. I do prefer to use a sponge for my concealer. This is the LYS sponge. Not a favorite sponge for me, but it'll work for today. I recently tried the Anastasia Beverly Hills like little black sponge. I think I got it in like a sample bag or something. That sponge is hard as a rock. So I ended up using it to paint a shirt and it worked out great. Alrighty. So kind of press that in. Press in my foundation while I'm at it. Perfect. Concealer is on. Alrighty, another item that I recently picked up, I believe maybe I shared this in a haul, maybe I didn't. I have a haul that's coming. It's not as large as my last one, but I do have a haul that's coming, and I picked up the Give Beauty Pick It Up Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo, and this is in the shade Toastin'. And this is what that looks like. There is a mirror in here, but you have your cream contour up here and then your powder bronzer down here. And again, this is in Toastin'. This was like, I think, the second shade up. I also yesterday picked up, or 2 days ago, can't remember now, the Semi Haze new cream bronzer. The color looks gorgeous, so I'm excited to try that out. But today we'll go ahead and use this. I've used this a few times and I do like it. So I'm gonna use the cream contour or bronzer to start. And this is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation brush. And I love this brush for my cream bronzers. It stamps in perfectly. I like the density of it for stamping in my cream bronzer. So I'll go along the hairline, down on the cheekbones, and I use my cream bronzer kind of like I would a contour, but I go a little heavier than I do a contour because it's a little bit warmer. I actually prefer to do a cream bronzer over a cream contour. I do have like the Westman Atelier cream contour and biscuit, and it is just so gray toned on me, which I know is the point to create that shadow. Maybe I'm just not skilled enough for the cream contour or even contour in general. Bronzer seems to get the job done for me. Blend that out a little bit more. I'm gonna take the edge of my sponge and just kind of go around it, soften the edges a little bit. I feel like I have a brush hair right here by my nose, driving me crazy. Alrighty. So there is cream bronzer. Again, this is Give Beauty. In the shade Toastin'. Alrighty. Moving along here, I am going to set my face, and with me I actually have the little tiny Huda Beauty baking powder, Baby Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder in the shade Banana Bread. I was traveling recently and have this little travel size in my everyday makeup bag, so let's go ahead and use that. The one bad thing about this travel is that this puff inside is great. I love it. Can stamp on your product, but I don't love it because you can't actually like pound out any of the powder because the puff is so large. Alrighty, so just taking this under my eyes, set my concealer. This is definitely a fragranced powder. I believe I heard that the new pressed powder is not fragranced. I did swatch it the other day in store. A lot of people are saying it has shimmer in it. I didn't notice any shimmer. Wasn't looking for it at the time though. I think it was the day that it launched that I had swatched it. So like I hadn't heard that yet. But on my swatches, I did not notice any shimmer. So if that helps, I'm sure lots of reviews will be coming out. Kind of go underneath my cream bronzer, chisel out a little bit. And then again, I pretty much set anywhere that I put concealer. And then I like to set right here on my smile lines. I do get Botox, but not here. On my folds. Kind of buff that in. Perfect. We are powdered. This is a quick get ready with me today. Set that off to the side, and then I am going to go ahead and grab now a powder bronzer. Let's see what I have. All right, only thing I think I have is still this Give Beauty sitting here with me without getting up and going to grab something else in Toastin'. So I'll use this powder bronzer now. The brush that I have is a little large for this pan, but I'll go ahead and essentially throw on powder bronzer wherever I threw the cream bronzer, or in this case, I think they're calling it a cream contour. Definitely more of a bronzer shade in my opinion. Go right on my cheeks, right along the hairline, sides of my nose, and underneath your bottom lip to make your lip look a little fuller. Perfect. And then next up, I do have a new shade of the Valentino Eye to Cheek blush. And this is in the shade, there goes the little brush, shade 4. I don't see the name of the shade here, but just shade 4 compared to shade 5 that I have, which is much more red. So going in with shade 4, a little bit more neutrally rosy. Sorry, my dogs are playing right over here. I'm gonna use the same brush that I did for my bronzer. It's what I have handy right now. And just place that on the apples of my cheeks and work my way up towards my hairline. And then in just a moment, I'll zoom you guys in and we'll do eyes. This was a BK Beauty 103 brush, by the way. Alrighty, blush on, looking for something more neutral today. And then let's see what else we got going on here in our bag. Let's go ahead and start with some eyes now. So using the Natasha Denona, I need a nude palette. Going in with a Refer 15 brush here. And now I'm going to go into the shade, I'm going to use the shade Mesh right here. Tap off some extra. And we're just going to throw this into the crease. So Mesh is going into the crease. This might be a dirty brush, I don't know. This Get Ready With Me is basically everything not to do, I feel like. Using dirty brushes, using the same brush for 2 different areas, but quick Get Ready With Me. I was getting ready and thought I'd just throw on the camera here really quick. All right, so shade Mesh. Again, buffing that into the crease. Use my viewfinder as my mirror. All right, so Mesh is now in the crease. And then I actually think I'm going to take the shade. Let me do a few swatches here. All right, I'm gonna use the shade Delilah now. Let me see if I have a flat brush. Yes. I have a Sonia G Worker 3, a flatter brush here, and I am going to go into the shade Delilah right here in this middle row. One of the shimmer shades, and I'm actually gonna just pop this onto the lid here. If you're new here, I do have my wing liner tattooed on, so I will just kind of go over that if I want to deepen it, but it is tattooed on. And this is, Delilah is giving this a very light glitter with a brush. You could probably amp up the intensity with, I don't even know if you can see that here on camera. You could definitely amp up the intensity if you wanted to with your finger on this shade. And then on the other side, the clean side of this brush here, I'm actually just going to dip into Mia, which is right here on the bottom corner. And I'm gonna stamp that in my inner corner. And it doesn't appear to be doing much of anything. There we go. All right, so stamped that into the inner corner just for a teeny tiny bit of brightness. And then same brush, the Sony G Worker 3, going back into mesh and just running that along the bottom lash line really, really lightly. Just to kind of tie everything in. Going back in with my Refer 15, back into the crease. Yeah, that shade Delilah just added the ever so slightest glitter on the top of the lid. So taking you back out here. And let's go ahead and grab a lip liner here really quick. And this is going to be the Lisa Eldridge Enhance and Define Lip Pencil in the shade Muse. Running that along the lip line, taking it up a little to blend it in. Around the lip line at the top. Perfect. And then going in with YSL Rouge lipstick in 3, as in Nancy 3 is the shade. Like a pinky nude. Lip is done. And then let's go ahead and throw on a little bit of mascara, and that should complete, oh no, brows. What am I thinking? Let's do brows. So I'm gonna just come right back here. I'll put my brows on or fill in my brows and then come back and we'll talk. Okay, brows are on. Let's go ahead now. We'll set the face and then we will, we will like use a setting spray on the face and then we'll do mascara. So you're still going for the Always an Optimist by Rare Beauty. Again, I bought this in a travel to refresh my memory on how I liked it. I do like it. I think I might like it better than the Charlotte Tilbury, but I don't know. I can't decide. I haven't picked up the Charlotte Tilbury since I ran out of my last one. And I am saving all of my empties for the end of the year, so I'll share them at the end of the year. I just feel like I don't go through enough to do it more than once. At least not yet. Not starting out. It's the first time I've actually ever even saved my empty products. But I was thinking ahead here, since I'm new on YouTube, around what I would want to do or what would be a good cadence for that. And I figured at the end of the year would be the best time to do that, to wrap up everything that I used, at least in the last 6 months. I don't have a full year of empties, but at least in the last 6 months. Mascara I'm using today is the Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions in the shade Bryn, which is black. And I will like go away from this mascara and then I'll come back to it. I really like the Huda Beauty One Coat Wow. However, it does very much transfer on me. And I don't know if that's just like where I live and it's hot and it's sweaty here. So maybe that's why it transfers, but it does transfer on me quite a bit. So I love the volume that it gives me, and the length, truly. But the transfer just drives me absolutely crazy. And I don't like to have a separate mascara for my bottom lashes. I just don't have time for that. I work full time. I'm a mom of 2 kids. I don't have time to like have separate mascaras for separate steps. Like a lot of times I just need like the quick one and done mascara. I used to be a massive false lash person and also just don't do that anymore. It's too time consuming. Although I did get pretty quick at it when I would use them like almost daily. But then I started going for some more minimal makeup and it just didn't look as right. And so I went back to mascara. I do use Revitalash. I have some Revitalash bottles in my empty video. I've tried others like Babe Lash and some other lash growth serums, and I just don't get the same results. So I've recently gone back to Revitalash again. It works the best for me. Getting some clumping over here. And I'm starting to see the results from going back to Revitalash just about 6 weeks later, which never fails. It never fails for me. Alrighty, I did get some mascara on my lid, so I'll let that dry and then scrape that off. Alrighty, here's the finished makeup look. Let me zoom you in a little tiny bit here. Let me go do my hair and then we'll be back to wrap it up. Alrighty, everybody, so this is the finished look. Just did my hair really quick. I still need to change before I head out for my appointment, but thought I would just give you the finished look with hair and everything. So hair, makeup is done. We are ready for the day. Thank you so much for watching. I will link all the products that I use down below. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and comment down below. Happy to interact with all of you and engage with all of you. If you wouldn't mind, if you could give my video a big like if you like this kind of content, and also subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you do consider purchasing any of the products that I've used below, or that I've used and linked down below, shopping through my links does help me earn a small commission, which would help me continue to grow and expand my channel and bring you the new makeup content that you guys are all hoping and loving to watch. Thank you again so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.